We're going to turn this Google image into a realistic build in City Skylines 2. I will be using lots of detailing, including all the new in-game assets to build our realistic scrapyard and warehouse district and complete part 2 of our Luton Town build. We built Luton Town Stadium and perfectly lined up all our row housing in part 1, so go and check that out if you haven't already, and I appreciate all of you who have already subscribed, and this will also ensure you don't miss the final part of building Luton Town. Now we're going to go in and get started on the detail, and this is the bit I imagine after the row housing that takes the most amount of time. So we're going to start here. We've got a nice almost square, and this is where we're going to make Brettwood Park. So if we go over and take a look at what it should look like. So if we move across here, you'll see I've made it quite similar, quite square shape. You can see it's green area, and we've got almost like a little round circle, which I think is like a gym area with some paths coming across. So we've also got a little path at the top there. Okay, so you can see this area is a little bit lumpy. I've tried to smooth it out, and hopefully that will make putting some of our arcs and things in a little bit easier. So we're going to go in now, grab our pathway tool here, get this smooth curve at the top connected up. Okay, that looks pretty cool. We'll put the vegetation around that in a minute. I'd like to go in here and grab some of our new assets, and I really like this ring road one here. And let's take off snapping. I think it needs to snap to this side. So if I put it here, I'm going to try and get it as far away from the road as possible, because we're going to snap a path to it. Will it let me put it in? There we go. That looks pretty cool. And then we'll get our path, and we're going to hopefully connect it up to both sides. So I can connect it up here. Let's take off curve tool for now. And if we take off snapping, will it allow me to join it up without the pedestrian walkway? Yes, it will. Then we'll put our curve tool back on again and put snapping on, and we're going to try and snap it. Yes, it snaps nicely to the side there. That's pretty cool. And then again, we're going to curve this in here, and then I'd like to make another curve from this side again without a pedestrian walkway there. I don't like how those connect up, but it will do for now. We'll hide that with some trees. So that looks pretty cool. So taking a look at our map here, you can see we've got that roughly about right, and I would say we've just got a mixture of trees around the outside to make up kind of the fence around the outside. Has it got a fence to it? Hard to see on that, but we might have a little hedge. But we'll just leave it. We'll just put some trees as the barrier for now. There we go. Quite happy with how that looks. So that's Brettwood Park. I might go in quickly now and put a nice green area in. There we go. That looks like a great little park there. Really like that. Okay, so above Brettwood Park here, we've left again a little space. You can see we've got a little house and estate there. We've also got here, we've got nursery, preschool, and then we've got a primary school as well. We've got Guru Nanak, which is like a religious temple up here. I don't know how much room we're going to get. I imagine we're going to try and get in. We could maybe even put an elementary school and a high school up here in the gap. And then we can have some football fields, some basketball courts, some parking. We'll see how much room we get. I know some of these buildings are quite big. So let's take a look, because we don't have a ton of room up here. We don't have a lot. Let's take a look at the size of the schools that we have, because we definitely, with our assets, we've got some smaller buildings. So this is great. We've got a small elementary school here, so that's pretty cool. What I might do is just plop it down for now, and then if we take a look at what assets we've got to go with that, we've got extension wing, and we've got a gymnasium. That's cool, but takes up a lot of space. This gives us 100 more students. I don't know if we're going to get room for this. I mean, we might do, and then potentially we can put a basketball court next to it. Something to consider there. Let's take a look at our. Let's go to. Got a small school there. I think that's some of our mods that we've got, and then we've got a small high school. How big is this? Now that's quite large though. Have we got anything smaller? Okay, proper high school is massive. Urban high school doesn't really fit, does it? That's quite big. That's quite towering. Not really something I want in there. That's something more for our big city. So let's get in the small elementary school. Let's take off Anarchy. And we'll just put that in there for now. Again, just to see the size. That is quite a big building. Well, let's see. Have a look at. Why won't it give me? Oh, I assume this one doesn't have any. Doesn't look like it has any add-ons. This one. Okay, that's fine. What I might do, you'll see here we've got a path and some parking around that. We've got a car park here opposite our football pitch there. So what I'm thinking we might do is build a little path all the way through. It might look slightly different, but it's okay. Let's spin that around for now. And then what I could do is get in here a little, if I connect it up, let's go somewhere down the middle here. I don't even mind that that's at a slight angle. Connect that up to there and then start to move these round a little bit. We can have our school maybe here. Let's have a look. I can have our school maybe there. We could perhaps get in some parking next to that. Depends what size we want to get here. We have a modest one. Just about fits in there. Yep, that actually goes pretty nice. I quite like how that looks. Again, we can take off, put on Anarchy, and we can just snap these up to the roads here. So that looks nicely level. And you see the pots that we got around the outside, nice little touch, fits in with our hedgerow here. So it does look like it's all part of one building, which is nice. We're then going to go in and what extensions did we have here for this one? We could run this here. If I put this in, it's extra 100 students, which is great for the local area. And then can I fit in here let's select our, what could I fit in this gap? Do basketball courts fit in there? Yes, they do. It looks like they do. Nice. I can put that there. Brilliant. And then just get a little road here. You'll see what I mean. And I can just drag that straight across. Nice. That's quite a cool little fit. I like how that has come together. So that's cool. Now let's grab our school here and we'll put this maybe right down the end. Far across as we can. That looks cool. Yes, this didn't have any upgrades unfortunately, but what could we fit in here? Maybe we could get, let's take a look at our map. So we've got a big football pitch here and a little outbuilding there. Thinking maybe we get in some tennis courts. Let's actually have a look at what we've got. You know what I'd really like is a small football pitch. That would be pretty cool. I don't think we have that option available, do we? Soccer field, yeah, way too big unfortunately. Now we could put in a small swimming pool. That would actually be quite nice. I actually really like a small swimming pool in there. Could I get a small swimming pool? Again, let's put a road across here. And let's get in our community pool. I'm going to actually take snapping off and get this lined up. I think, what way does it actually go around though? Okay, with that flower pot or the flower facing outwards. So let's snap this as close as we can. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to try and get snug in the corner here without overlapping the road. There. Nice. I think I've got that pretty closely lined up. Right, so that pool looks great there. And then I'm thinking we can go in and potentially get some tennis courts next to that. If we select our small tennis courts, get this lined up next to it. I always feel like this tennis court looks a bit naked without fencing, so I'm going to go in now, grab our fence tool and just put a fence around the outside of this. Probably a big fence like this to stop the balls from going everywhere. There we go. Now it looks like there's a tennis court. We'll have to imagine on one of those fence panels there's a gate where they can go in. At least now the balls can't escape everywhere, so that's pretty cool. We will put some vegetation around that just to tidy it up a little bit. And what we have got on the map though are some row housing along here. While we're waiting for that to develop, we'll go in and get our vegetation in around the outside. Right, there we go. That area looks pretty awesome. I'm really happy with that. We've got Brettwood Park. We've got our schools in this little area here, tucked away, with a little bit of parking as well, which we're going to make super cheap. Won't make it free, but we'll make it cheap for parents of the school to drop off their children. We're going to now go in and tackle this area here. This is going to be quite a big project, but I've put this line in here, this pedestrian path, just so we know where we're going to start building up to. And you see I've got a little slant on these houses here. So we head over to this area here where I was talking about. We've got that slant. I don't know if this is on a slope, but you can see we've got a brick wall in along here. So I'll probably put a brick wall in with some vegetation, and then it appears like we've got a gravel path going up with trees down the side, and then we've got our scrap yard there, or our stockpile of cars. We're going to go ahead and add that in now. I'd say it's mainly just cars with the gravel trap, and then we've got a little shed there, which is where they probably buy and sell used and old cars. Right, so it's a case of working out now how much room we actually need. Let's get our gravel path here. I'm thinking we probably put it, I don't want to put it on this junction here. Thinking we probably put it up about there. How close does this actually run to the road? It runs right up to the road, so we could put this right up to the road here and then have it run across. And I think it's got a few little gravel paths going across, maybe a little circle there, and then another one here as well. So if we go in and we maybe build a little circle here, and then it's got another one that comes down and across there. We'll go in here and we'll take out all our vegetation again, just so again we've got a nice fresh start. We can add that in afterwards. We will need to make sure we connect up this as well. There we go. We can put our vegetation in last. What I'd like to do now though, let's build one across here, and then we're going to find a little building that we can add in here. What I'm thinking is we'll get like a little 2x2. Let's go to our find it tool. Let's type in warehouse, and then we'll go 2x2. See what it comes up with. Yeah, so it's giving us some little sheds like this, and this would be really cool to have right by our road here. That looks brilliant. I quite like how that looks. We'll go in and just delete the floor out of that, or delete the surface. It looks a bit jagged. There we go. That's much better. And what I would like to do is grab, if we look at the texture, it's very sandy. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to grab, this is where we need to play around with our sand tool here, see what sand we've actually got. Something that fits. That's quite dirty, that's quite good. We've got wet sand. I don't think this is really going to, yeah, don't really want wet sand. What about white sand? Oh, I don't know, I like the gleam on that. I don't know if it's a bit too white though. There's that one. What about wet sand but dark? That could be quite good. Right, I found this one here, this golden sand thick, which I like a lot more. So we're going to go in and we're going to drag this out across. It's not too, sort of doesn't stand out too much and take away from the rest of our build. But it blends in with the grass, and just, yeah, it looks like there was grass there originally, and now we've got lots of sand and dirt over the top. So this one I really like a lot. We get nice, that looks pretty good. I do like how that looks now. We'll put some trees in here to hide all of this area. Yeah, and then we can go in and put the cars and all the other bits in around that. So we're going to go in now and get our brick wall in. I believe that we have a brick wall available to us. Let's have a look. We've got this low brick wall. Oh, we could use this high brick wall. This could be brilliant. This could fit really nicely. So let's go in, snap this along our sand edges here, up to the corners of our houses, and then we'll snap it up to that edge there. I'm going to leave this here because you'll see on the map that it goes all the way along, and we've got a little gap there. I wonder if I can put a small little parking lot in there, one of our tiny ones. Oh, so we could, that would be cool. We could put that in there. Let's do it. Yep, that's fine. And then we're going to go in and we'll just take out this wall, and then we'll put it around the outside. And what I might even do to even more add to the effect is, let's move this first of all, because this does take priority, I believe. Move this here. Trying to only grab that node, and then grab this and delete the ground off. Yes, good idea. And then we can bring this back in. Yeah, nice. We can put the brick wall around that now. There we go, and we can connect that up to there. I really like how that looks now. You'll see that looks pretty similar. That's pretty cool. So we're going to go in now, get some of our vegetation in here. We're going to put some down this side, some down the wall, and then it's also got some little bits of vegetation in between as well. So we'll add that in, just adds a little bit extra to it. Plus I've got all the vegetation in for that area. Now it's just a case of finding some assets that we like and we can add into here. So if we go into our find it tool, I believe we can select vehicles, take off transport, we don't really need that. And then let's go in and find some cars that we can use. It's a great news, we actually found some junk cars here, which is a lot more fitting, and I might not even need to use our other vehicles that we added in. So let's go back to our favorites now. I added in some fire barrels and some cardboard boxes. I thought they would fit really nice. So I thought we could use these carport racks here to put some cars under, or park the cars under for people that work there. I thought these would be quite fitting. We got to line them up pretty nice. Now we're going to do the hard work. The hard work is just a case of going in and stacking these junk vehicles up that we added, just spreading them out, lining them up back to back. And yeah, we'll use the random one, I think, because then we can probably use our line tool. And what we'll do is we'll probably just, simple as this, just grab it, we'll put them a little bit closer together. How far do we need them apart? If we can rotate them as well, 90 degrees. Yep, that's better. And then we'll, I don't know if we can just wall to wall mode them. Yep, wall to wall, and put them across there. Yep, let's get it a bit closer to the road. There we go, and we'll just stack them up like that. Perfect. Yeah, so that looks good, and we're going to go and rinse and repeat that for the rest of this scrapyard. There we go, so that's our scrap or stockpile yard finished. I'm really happy with how that looks. The junk cars look great. We've got some random little rubbish piles in there. We've also got in some fire barrels. I think that's pretty fitting just because they'll love to burn stuff. Any waste they've got, they'll just burn. We've just tried to have some random lining and gaps in here, and it looks quite rugged, and I think that's exactly the look we wanted. I love this little warehouse here that we've used to make it all look authentic, and that looks pretty cool. So if we go in and compare that now to what it looks like here on Google Earth, you'll see that that looks pretty cool. Quite like how that looks. We've got our little building at the bottom here, and then just our cars spread out randomly. So that's perfect. Really cool. So we're going to head over now to this warehouse area here, and we're going to try and get all this area in. We might save space down here for this little car park, little almost what I imagine is a sale garage down here. It looks like we've got 3 entrances, so we're going to get those 3 entrances in. If we take a look at what they actually are, this just looks like a massive warehouse that does bathrooms and tiles. I think they have different things in there. A little bit commercial, I think, that one. So if we can find a commercial building like that, we'll definitely drop that in. Down the back here, we've just got pallets of different materials, so we can put in again some more industrial buildings. And then if we move across this way, again we've got, this looks like are those boxes or timber boxes. Again, I'm not quite sure what that says, but again we can get some warehouses in there, and the same with this side as well at the back too. So we're going to try and put some roads in here. So we've got one that goes round in a square, that should be quite easy to fit in, and then we've got one that comes across with the garages attaching that way. So again, I think we can do two loops there and have 2 entrances here and have this loop that joins back in. So I think we'll roughly split this in half. We'll start off by grabbing our gravel path to start with. Let's get that in here. If I imagine that it's going to run along here, and that we're going to have our little parking and little car sales place down here. We might even make that a petrol garage, because that'd be quite fitting. And then we're going to bring this path all the way along the back, maybe to about here, and then drag it down and connect it up at a little bit of an angle. I think we had a little bit of an angle on the other one. And then we'll grab our tarmac path. We'll start that about here. Again, we're going to run that exactly along. We definitely don't want to get that connected up together. We're going to try and keep that separate. And again, we're going to run this along here, saving space. We'll connect that up to there, saving space for our buildings on this side. So there we go. I think that's okay. Yeah, that looks good. I might just put the path going across here so we can get some parking into. Again, we'll snap this across here, and that leaves us room again at the front here for our little area. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and get, let's go to our find it tool. But if we type in gas and go to commercial, can we get a 2x2 gas station in here? Or even a 3x2? That might be a little bit better. Perfect. And then we'll get our little industrial building in here. If we go 2x2, because we've got a little one at the front on this side. Let's go for something like that. And again, we're going to put in some tiny car parking either side. So again, this is a great chance to put our tiny car parks in. We'll put one there, and we'll put one there. That looks pretty cool. The ground's a little bit uneven, so I don't know how well those are actually going to work. I'm just going to leave them for now. We'll pretend that those spaces are a little bit more worn. We're going to go in, we're going to drag the edges out here. We'll do the same here too, connect it up. And what I would like to do is grab some of our decals that we've got available, and we can just make these look a little bit more realistic. Put some little cracks in, put some big holes in here as well, and then I'll go in and we'll grab some of our markings like this and put these along here, just to make it look a bit more dirty and more well used. We'll also get some of these in here as well. And we'll do the same this side too. There we go, that should do. So let's go over to our find it tool now. I had selected some buildings in my favorites here that I quite like, that I think we could use. So we've got buildings like this. This would be great. So just some general warehouse buildings here. Let's try and find one that's quite long. So this is a good opportunity to get in our long thin car park here. And that will then, we'll put it along the roadside. That will then give us an opportunity to see how much space we've got for our big warehouse building here. So let's go over to our parking and let's get the, what's it called? Long parking lot. I'm hoping with Anarchy, how does it look? Oh yeah, it's not perfect. Let's grab the move it mod here. See if we can just bring this back a little bit. I don't know why that's given us so many issues. Let's put that here. Get on a little bit of a hilltop. Don't know why we can't get that a little bit flatter. So I'll put our own custom car parking in there. I had a few issues with the slope and it looked a little bit ridiculous. So just put it down on the slope there and use our own custom one. It's simple enough to do, which is great. And we can then go in, grab some of our surfaces, select pavement, and then pretty much just draw this straight in here like that. That's our parking lot there. I will go in though and make this look a little bit more worn. So again, grabbing some of our decals here, we're just going to randomly spread them out and flip it around. We'll do the same on the other side. Right, there we go. That looks so much better. Now let's go in and grab our warehouses that we pre-selected earlier. Let's see if we can find, maybe, did we have a one that was 6 deep? No, we've got a 5 deep one here. There you go, that's not too bad. How does that look? That looks okay. I might go in and just take off some of these signs with the extra demolition tool there. That looks pretty cool. Oh, what's not good is it's messed up our car park. So let's see if I can go in and delete this building. Right, and then what I'll do is we're going to go in now, grab the same building again, and if we put it a little bit further along, yep, hopefully the sloping then doesn't affect our car parking, which is great. If we take a look here, you can see we've got the rest of this area all tarmacked up. So what I might do is we could have these parking spaces along here and maybe make them loading bays. That would be quite fitting. And then along the back here, we could maybe have some lorries and some loading pallets. That would look pretty cool. So let's jump in and get all these surfaces extended out, putting them around our main building here. Trying to get these a little bit, I think that's quite snug to the end. I think that's okay. And build it across there, and then dragging it straight across. Again, we can add some more of the dirt in a second. So let's go in quickly and see if we can manually, I think we've got here some of our parking spaces by dome. We can go in. Oh, we've got disabled ones. Have we got any loading ones? I don't think we have. That would be really cool. We could have some loading ones. There you go, dome. If we can get some loading bays, even better. And I can't quite see where this building's going to be. I think it's about here. So let's grab that. And then we're going to manually snap these all the way along. There we go, nice. They're not perfect, but again, that's fine. We're going to get parking bays like that sometimes, so that is fine. Now, what we will do is go in and grab some of these loading zone decals. And I think we'll just spread these along the front here. And that should make it obvious to people that that is for loading only. And then we're going to grab some of these. And what I'm thinking is we'll potentially put them, or what I could do, grab some of these strips here and put them across. Hopefully now that makes it obvious that people can't park in this area. So that looks pretty cool. We will then need to connect these up. So we'll grab our visible road tool here and get that connected. Let's connect it up to here. Nice. It looks like people can drive straight across there. I'm gonna leave it. Though. Right, there we go. I did change it, but hopefully now people can walk across but not drive across. So fingers crossed that works. So now we've got this parking in now. We're gonna go in, get some more assets or details, put them in here, put some little lorries in, and make this area look complete. So that's our first area complete. I'm really happy with that. I love the look of it. It does look like a proper warehouse industry here. Lots of cargo, lots of things going on. I love the lorry cargo trailers we put in there. I think that's brilliant. We just put some random vehicles in as well. They could be dropping off post, dropping off parcels. Yes, we've got our main warehouse here, and then we've got here maybe our office for this block. So that's pretty cool. We're going to go in now, get the few little offices that we've got to put in around the back here. So we're going to go in now and finish off this area. Again, putting in just some unique little buildings around the back here. Maybe change the surface and the look. Definitely clearing out these trees first of all. So let's jump in and do that now. If we take a look at our map here, we've got 3 main buildings. We could argue we've already got this one in already. We might just have 2 more in around the back. And again, I'm going to just put all this area as pavement. So let's see if we can get some different buildings to work with here. It might be that I have to put another road in along the back. If I jump in and do that now, otherwise I won't be able to get those other buildings in there. So I've got our grid drawn in there. We'll go in now and grab the buildings that we would like to select. I'm thinking we go for this. We can probably put snapping on here, and we snap this to the road there. And then if we try and get another little one, trying to find one we maybe haven't got yet. Let's go for this 2x2. I think it's a little bit different. Hard to tell. I think that's a little bit different. We'll put this in about there. So that looks cool. Yeah, so that looks good. We'll go in now and get our pavement tool in all the way around here. Yeah, so now we've got that in. We'll just go in, use the same assets that we had before and get this all decorated up. I'm really happy with the overall look for that side. I love that it just looks like a typical industrial yard with boxes, metal crates, timber just stacked everywhere, different angles. Yeah, so it looks really realistic, and the dirt really adds a good touch to it, makes it look well used. So yeah, super pleased with that one. We'll go in, we're going to repeat the same process on this side, and then we can fill in any of the gaps we've got with our vegetation as well, just to round off this area. So heading back over to Google Earth here, you'll see that we've got one massive building along the back here. We could make that a couple of buildings and attach a few together, and then here we've got 2 long ones with a big main building at the back. So we're going to try and replicate that as close as possible. Maybe put a little tiny car park at the front here as well. Okay, so this time we're going to use this building slightly different. I'm going to go and snap that. Say snap that. We've got snapping off because it won't let me snap it to Meadow Lane. But we're going to go and just touch this in here, trying to get as close to the edge as possible, and then we're going to do the same here as well. So have these kind of side by side. How does that look? Yep, that looks okay. It's not perfect. I couldn't quite find the exact building I wanted, but they will do for now. We're then going to put in our concrete at the back here, and then round this side, what I was thinking is we could have a big building here to cover all of this area, because I want the back on this side, I remember, it's quite big. So if we go into our tool here, and then if we can find a larger building, something like this would be pretty good. We could put that in back here. Let's snap this so we get it in the right place. There we go. I don't mind that there at all. I think that looks okay, and it does just fit in around the back there. We're going to go in, get this all paved out here, and put our buildings down the side. So what I was thinking here, because our room is a little bit limited, and if we want to put a road in to leave a gap, it's a bit of a faff. So what I might do is put this along here, maybe have 2 of those. Let's even go for 3 of those back to back, and then we're going to extend this path out along here when it lets me, that is. Extend that out along there just to complete that, and we can have the storage areas back here. I haven't really got that straight, have I? Is it straight? Yep, that's a... oh, not... I haven't got that straight at all. That was awful on my part. So let's go in. Attempt number 2 now. There we go. That's... this angle is much easier to see. We've got a bit of a gradient there, but I don't mind. It's not the end of the world. We're going to go in now, get all this paved up, and then we can fill in the blanks with the detailing. And there you go, guys, that's the finished result. I'm really happy with how that looks, and as a whole here I think we've really captured the idea and that realistic feel of Luton Town there. So you can see you've got the housing estate, we've got our warehouse district here. Yes, that's not perfect, but we've got the rough idea and the scale and what it looks like there. And the same with our little scrap yard here, our car junkyard. I think that looks really, really cool. All the detailing, all the extra assets, the parking, the vegetation, and more importantly, those surfaces really add to the effect that we've got here. So yeah, super chuffed with that. Let me know in the comments below what you think. We'll quickly switch over now to Google Earth and we can do a direct comparison. There you go. I think that whole area looks really, really cool. I really like how that looks. We haven't quite got this sand patch in here, but I'm not a fan of that. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, the rest of it looks excellent. We're going to jump in now and fill in these 2 gaps here. I believe this is just a concreted area with parking. So let's go and have a look. And if we just move up a little bit, you can see we've got some parking around here. What's this? Maybe a little playground there. Maybe that's something we could incorporate. So yeah, I'm trying to work out what we could fit in here. I definitely think we could get a tiny car park in here and then a park next to it as well. So let's see what size parks we've actually got. Tiny park, that is very tiny. What about our standard park? That's quite a good size. Is there something a little bit longer? Is there? Have we got I was going to say modest park, but I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the parking. Let's go over to our large parks. We do have a 6x4 playground in the large category, and that is actually a perfect fit for this area. There, nice. That's a perfect fit. We can use that. What I'm hoping now is we can get a car park in here as well. So let's go in quickly, just get rid of these trees that we don't need for now, and see what size parks we actually have. In terms of parking, oh, the small one, definitely too big. We need something slightly different shape. These are all large. Modest, yes, that works quite well. We can get a modest car park in there, and then what about this side? This side, could we get our small park in? Yes, we can. So let's get our small car park in there. Excellent. Now we've got 2 car parks. That's great. What I might do here is drag out the concrete and bring that all the way across. There we go. So that's our big concrete area in there, and then we'll put some trees, some vegetation in the gaps that we have left. Right, there we go. So that's that area starting to look a little bit more complete. I think we've done a good job there of getting that to look a little bit similar in terms of having some parking here. I mean, the parking goes all the way along, but we've got that as a little grey area. Hopefully you guys won't mind me just adapting that a little bit. So let's move across now and get this area built in here. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to have a road coming all the way down, and it looks like we've got quite a few buildings here. So I might do a little ring road and have some paths going out, or roads going out to the side here, and then just put in lots of cars around that. Really, we've got again another junkyard up here with lots of scrap metal. We've got lots of sort of trash bins here, so we can put lots of those in. That would be quite cool, because we haven't used those as assets yet. Again, more trash bins here alongside the buildings with lots of cars. So yeah, let's go in, build that ring road and get some of these buildings in here. I've used a lot of the same building there, but I think that gives us the sort of look that we are after. We are going to go in now and just concrete this whole area up with our pavement tool. I've used the asphalt tool there instead of our pavement tool, and I actually think that looks a bit better. I do think that looks quite nice. It hides the roads a little bit, which is great. It might even be the same texture as the road, and that's why it hides them. So that's pretty cool. Now we can go in and detail the area up now. That's our little industrial area there finished. You can see I've used lots of the metal stacks, the wood stacks. I've used some big trash bins here, cardboard boxes, barrels. I've also used some rubbish cardboard boxes here. What I like about this is I imagine this is like a car dealership / industrial area, and they're just selling sedans. We've got loads of sedans. I quite like that they're actually different colours. I think that looks quite nice. Adds a different sort of texture to it, a different feel. We put some little car parks in here, and I think that looks excellent. I'm really happy with how that looks. I quite like. I don't think it's the, I said it was the same as that. It's definitely not the same, but I think the concrete tool that we used here takes priority over the pavement tool, so it overlaps, but you can still see where the cars would drive. So that's really cool. Adds quite a nice effect that you wouldn't normally get. Put some row houses in here as well, because you'll see on the map here that we do have a line of row houses along here. So that's quite fitting, and it kind of keeps it tucked along the back of our row housing, which is pretty cool. That's part 2 of our build finished. Subscribe to not miss the final installment, and I'll leave you with some cool cinematics to check out.